20s is the time when a lot of avoidable mistakes are made. I said avoidable because if we knew better, they would have been avoidable actually. It is the period of the life when we are still trying to figure out life. We try this and that, we get into the wrong things, wrong relationships, get manipulated, learn the lessons, and get confused about what we really want in life, the career path. And before you kind of like figure out all these things, you find out that a huge part of your time is gone. A lot of people will say, oh, I wasted a huge part of my 20s because of things that I had mentioned earlier. But honestly, I was in that space. I was in that phase of life in the past. Thankfully, I am in a better place, right? I'm turning 26 and I have looked back to my 25, 24, 23. I look at the moments when I was actually confused about life, about like a lot of things. I was struggling. I was in the worst state of mind, like literally the worst state of mind. I know back then when we were in uni, when we were still like 100% dependent, we were praying for this. Like it was what I was thinking. I was literally praying for this. I was praying for this level of independence. How come I am not enjoying it? But one thing that I've come to realize is that in as much as a huge time was wasted, honestly, I don't think it's a waste. That's why I put it in quotation because that's what a lot of people are going to call it. I wasted a huge part of my 20s because I wasn't sure what I wanted. But I'm going to tell you why it wasn't a waste, but rather it's actually even inspiring. But you know, weeping only endures for a night, joy comes in the morning. So just like me, I want to encourage somebody to wait around, and your morning is by the corner. And just like me, you're going to share your story, you're going to inspire people around the world. You know, I didn't really have the smoothest early 20 rides, from financial constraints to not deriving joy from my fancy career to feeling lonely to hating 9 to 5 and to come down to ask myself, what do I really want? It is in trying different things that you actually gain stability, that you look back to those moments of confusion, of frustration, of tears, and you actually eventually are grateful because they made you understand yourself better and equip you for the best years of your life. There is no better way that it would have happened for me to turn out to be who I am today. Honestly, I'm not in the best place, but you know, I'm in a better place and it all makes sense to me now. Now that lines are beginning to fall in pleasant places. I don't know who this is for, but I just want you to take this as a cushion, as an encouragement, and not just me sharing my experiences. I want you to learn from it as well. Wait, wow. I was just 20 yesterday. It just rang in my head now. I was literally 20 yesterday. Anyway, 15 things that I've learned in my 26 years of life. We're going to run along very quickly, okay? Number one, I have learned to speak up for the littlest things because one day is going to save the day. Like I used to bottle things a lot. I used to let things slide a lot. I used to be very used to like in being in my own, like not bothering people about what's going on in my life. But of recent, I've started to open up to people, to let people know, you know, certain things, even the very little things, because honestly, when you let people know some things in the future, is definitely going to save the day. It's going to save you a lot of stress. Secondly, I have learned patience. I'm still improving on that. I can be the most impatient person. On the good side, it can be translated to having a strong willpower, but everything has advantage and disadvantage. Know when to apply it and know when to not be too dormant in certain situations. Third thing I've learned is that the world people don't really give two F's about your welfare as much as they say they do, because most times you don't see the actions, just words. Fourth thing is I've learned to put a smile on people's faces. I've not been so used to tipping people, but of recent, I've seen the good in tipping. It makes you like a bigger person, and then of course it puts a smile on their faces. I've also learned to smile back at people, to engage people. I'm used to actually just being enclosed. Like, I don't like bothering people, but be the first to engage them. Like, just show care, and it puts a smile on people's faces. Number 5 thing I've learned is to chase my passion, to chase my dreams unapologetically. Like, it doesn't have to make sense to anybody. I just need to have that strong conviction. Nobody has to understand it. 6th thing, kind of like a popular opinion, but I need to emphasize on that. I've learned to stop caring about what the world people say, because come to think of it, it's such an irony that you actually even care about the opinions of people and the world that doesn't even care about you, don't even care about your welfare. They are so selfish. So don't care about I don't care about don't care about the opinions. 7th thing I've learned so far is to stop pleasing people just to seem like a nice person. I've learned to like know when to draw the line between being too nice and being used, like just not being manipulated and having a strong mind, know when to give in my all for people and when to cut it, cut it. Number 8 thing I've learned, and I finally understand, that sometimes God just puts you through tests in life, puts you in situations that you kind of like feel that there isn't a way out of this situation. Of which sometimes we may not even know that God is trying to teach us something. That's why like you have to be connected to God as well. It's one of the things I've learned. I'm going to merge that with this point number 8, but specifically on God teaching you things in life. For example, me on learning patience. God has really forced me to learn this. Number 9 thing I've learned so far is to stop oversharing. I've not even actually even been a person to overshare, but sometimes we miss it. But then I've seen the importance of being someone that does not overshare. I always hit on it. We live in a world where nobody really cares. You know, sometimes you feel like, oh, someone is asking about me genuinely, but they may just have ulterior motives. There's a lot of angle to oversharing. I've hinted on it a few times. Maybe I'll leave the link up here so you watch the video and know more about oversharing, okay? 10th thing I've learned is that people will actually fail you. There are times that people will fail you. So don't overplace people in your life because you're going to get disappointed. Know your criteria for calling whoever you call friend. Have good criteria other than, oh, we just vibe on the get-go. There is more. When tides are low, that is when you know who is your friend. And if you didn't define it, you're going to be disappointed eventually. 11th thing I've learned so far is to not follow the crowd. I have not actually even been the one to like follow the crowd, jump on the bandwagon and do things because, oh, everyone is doing this. I've always like had a mind of my own. I always stick to my mind and my path. But of course, I've come to see the importance of having that quality. For example, the peace of mind that comes with, you know, being satisfied with what you have, being convinced about what you want. When you are self-sufficient, you will hardly find yourself here and there because people are here and there. When the disaster hits from that, you know that you are safe. You're not left with self-guilt and all of that, okay? 12th thing I've learned is to do things when I'm ready so that I am happily and convincingly doing it. You can still attach it to like having a mind of your own because in this life, pressure comes. People who want you or expect you to do this and that, to be here or there. Do you get what I'm saying? Expectations come in adulthood, but it's good to have strong mind so that at the end of the day, you know what is best for you and the best timing for you. You follow your path, follow your pace. The 13th thing I've learned is to be assertive. I've not been the one to be like, when it comes to my association with people, sometimes I kind of like let things slide because I'm too peaceful. I'm not the one to talk too much. Sometimes I expect people to know certain things other than expecting me to say it. Like, Sometimes I can be laid back when it comes to the outside world. I think that's a bit of my introvertism. I kind of wonder, okay, if I'm to make a big deal out of this situation, how is it going to end? I'll rather let it slide. But I've learned to actually be assertive, because people will not want to try rubbish with you, because trust me, people be knowing things that they do. People will want to take advantage. People will want to be on the giving end and rather have you on the receiving end. Nobody wants to take last. Being assertive can be interpreted in different other ways, like be assertive about your goals, your aspirations. Yeah, that's me for me. 14th thing I've learned is that adversity is a sign of transition. We go through life, we encounter a lot of moments that actually shake us, tribulations. So I've come to realize that whenever I am experiencing those difficult moments of my life, there is always something beautiful at the end when I finally cross over. It reminds me always of the story of Job in the Bible, of Joseph and the Israelites. For example, the Israelites, they were held captive for years, and they finally eventually crossed over to the Canaan land. And then Joseph, of course, he had 2 years in prison, in Potiphar's house and all of that. And then the end of the day, those 2 years transitioned him into 80 good years of reign as the prime minister of Egypt. So it's very important that I master adversity intelligence for me to know the best things to do at the time when I am going through it. It's one thing I've learned and I'm still learning. 15th thing, and the last, which you may have heard from me a couple of times, is that there is so much beauty in isolating. I don't mean like for you to not interact with people. No, like I mean living alone, having your own space, being completely independent and 100% dependent on yourself in terms of your decisions, being stable. There are a lot of benefits that come with living alone eventually in life. I've made a video on that. Check the description box for it, or I'll probably leave the link as well on the screen. Yeah, come to the end of this video. These are 15 things. I'm sure there are many more, but so far, yeah, 15 things. Thanks for watching. Hope that you like this video. Subscribe, join the family. When you do, turn on the bell button beside it and choose the all option. We are on the road to 600 subscribers. Let's make it happen. Share your thoughts to me as well in the comment section. Bye.